So what is interesting about the law of attraction, when I discuss the law of attraction, I mean really America has this kind of great history of kind of like dynamic religious reinterpretations. And Emerson and Thoreau were, doing transcendentalism, and this guy named Quimby, who was out of Maine, who was a healer, inspired by other previous hypnotists. They kind of created the groundwork for the law of attraction, even though those phrases weren't used. But a lot of the stuff that I like best in this, in this mode of teaching is just talking about suggestibility. And most of the great law of attraction teachers I like, particularly Emile Coué, who is my favorite law of attraction teacher, he basically was just saying that we hypnotize ourselves. We suggest things to ourselves constantly. We don't have a choice in the matter. We're always suggesting things to ourselves. And whatever we suggest and believe is what then is going to, in some form or the other, probably happen in our life. So in other words, that what we choose to believe has a direct effect on what happens in our life. And that is the law of attraction in a nutshell. And that is how, in my opinion, most type of hypnotism really works. You are not hypnotized by somebody else. You hypnotize yourself.
So let's pick up on that last point, because I even think it might be helpful to take law of attraction out of that for just a second. Sure. Because the last point that you landed on, I think I'd like people to attack that directly and analyze that and see if that's true. Because I think at the end of the day, a rational look at that would lead you to your conclusion that all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And someone can guide us towards hypnotizing ourselves, but it really can't be otherwise. It can't, if we think of the nature of consciousness, it is in us. And anyone affecting that from the outside with these words, ideas, thoughts, is ultimately directing us towards some form of self-hypnosis. That's kind of undeniable, but you're pointing it out in a way that sneaks up on us. We didn't see it. And then you're taking it one step further. You go, are you subjecting yourself to a hypnotic suggestion that, oh shit, you'll never get it all done today? Or, oh God, that son of a, I can't believe he did that. Or, what a beautiful sunset. That couldn't be more incredible and more inspiring. How much do I love those people around me? What kind of self-suggestive hypnotic trances are you? You don't expound on that. I'm sure you thought a lot about this before you put it out there, because it is a radically simple idea, which is so much what you're all about.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. And I hate to do this, but I got to bring it back to the law of attraction, because this is the law of attraction. So let me back up or go, I guess, to what I initially said. When we talk about the law of attraction, when I say I'm a law of attraction teacher, I do not mean the law of attraction that people are used to hearing about. Okay. I can use that term because I use it very irreverently. I'm really talking about some of the great, primarily American, but international teachers that sprung out of this transcendental movement. So Emile Coué, this is exactly what he talks about. Emile Coué should, in a different world, a parallel world, would be more famous than Freud. And for a while, he was very famous because what he said and explained is that I am not hypnotizing you. I am teaching you how to hypnotize yourself. And what makes Coué so impressive is that he didn't just talk to talk, he walked to walk. People would come, thousands of people literally would come to see him every year. And most of them, or a large percentage of them, would walk away in much better health than they had before. Now, most modern spiritual healers, or whatever you want to call it, don't have that kind of success rate. And what's amazing is that Coué said this has nothing to do with religion. This is not even spiritual. This is your psychology. You are suggesting things to yourself. And unfortunately, you are probably suggesting the wrong things to yourself. So that is, in my opinion, the greatest law of attraction teaching of, the last 100 or so years. Then you've got people like Joseph Murphy, who wrote a very famous book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, that whole book is just about that, just about how we suggest the wrong things to ourselves, to our subconscious, and how we should be suggesting more positive things to our subconscious. And he gives, you know, dozens of different methods to suggest better things to ourselves. So that is, when I say law of attraction, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about The Secret and crystals and all that other stuff. I don't even know about that stuff. I know that they're trying to connect with what I just referenced, but the truth of the matter is most people these days who are into the law of attraction have never even heard of Coué or even read The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, even though it's one of the more famous books, you know, in the genre. So this is not a unique idea I have. I've already shared all the unique ideas I have, in my opinion. The joy of not thinking, stop being serious. Those ideas are much more out there than these ideas. These ideas are just forgotten about. And that's why I'm doing this podcast, because we're going to actually explore the law of attraction. We're not going to talk about crystals and, you know, what your moon sign is outside and all this other stuff that's going on outside of you. We're going to talk about what's going on inside of you right now. What are you suggesting? How do you feel? You know, and how can I suggest and be more present so I can suggest more positive things to myself? How can I learn how to do that?